In at number 10, Nick Lachey. Nick Lachey also exposed Kim for being a little too friendly with the paparazzi in order to get some publicity from him. The singer claims that Kim might have only been dating him for publicity. Apparently the pair only dated for about a week, and some shady stuff went down. One time he said, let's just say this, we went to a movie, no one followed us there. Somehow, mysteriously, when we left, there were 30 photographers waiting outside. And I think from that story, it's very clear that Kim was tipping off the paparazzi, so there would be photos of them together. And if you didn't already know, unless someone is like incredibly famous, if they're a paparazzi when they are out, they definitely tipped off that paparazzi. In at number 9, Jon Hamm. The Mad Men star definitely has some choice words for the Kardashians, and based off what he said, it's clear he does not like the family and doesn't approve of how they rose to fame. With him telling LUK, whether it's Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian or whoever, stupidity is certainly celebrated. Being an idiot is a valuable commodity in this culture because you're rewarded significantly. It's celebrated. It doesn't make sense to me. So clearly he doesn't like the reality TV stars whatsoever and doesn't like how our society praises socialites like Paris Hilton and the Kardashians. And like, I kinda get where he's going. Like, you know, he has some valid points. In at number 8, Kristin Cavallari. Kristin Cavallari has a very interesting relationship with the Kar Jenner clan. It all started when Kristin dated Brody Jenner, and through that relationship she also became friends with the Kardashians. But after Brody and Kristin broke up, there was tension between Kristin and Kourtney Kardashian. After Kourtney caught Scott out with Kristin while they were in an off period. And after that, Kristin called out the family for using that information as a publicity stunt to get viewers to their show. And allegedly, after rumors broke that Kristin and Scott were having an affair, the Kardashians refused to deny it and instead waited to address it on their show, leaving Kristin looking like, you know, the bad, terrible other woman when it just wasn't even true. More than a little shady if you ask me. In at number 7, Barack Obama. Former President Barack Obama also couldn't hold his tongue when talking about the famous family, and it's definitely quite the compliment when the president is speaking about you. Or is it? The former president was talking about the changing dynamics of the American dream and how it's shifting with time, saying there was not that window into the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Kids weren't monitoring every day what Kim Kardashian was wearing or where Kanye West was going on vacation, and thinking that somehow was the mark of success. And ouch, here it's pretty obvious he was throwing some major shade their way. And he doesn't seem to like how they are now the standard for what success is. And apparently Kanye West did not like those comments and actually fired back at the president. But also, since Obama was a former president, you know, I trust his opinion and judgment way more than Kanye's. And at number 6, Kris Humphries. Kris Humphries was someone who probably challenged the Kardashian family the most and exposed secrets about them I'm sure they did not want out. Kim and Kris got married in one of the most lavish televised ceremonies ever, but famously, after only 72 days, the couple split because Kim was having second thoughts. But based off how much content their reality shows got because of that relationship, then the breakup, Kris called Kim out for fraud, arguing that the whole relationship was just a publicity stunt. And their divorce was so messy it lasted 2 whole years before it was finalized. But during the massive trial, Kris exposed that a lot of the Kardashian show was scripted, and that the show purposefully made him look bad. Like when him and Scott threw a party in one episode while the girls were out of town, and they looked really horrible for going behind their backs when they told them not to have the party. The whole thing was actually just a huge sham, with Kim and Kourtney knowing about the party and acting like they didn't know for TV, in turn making Kris look like a terrible husband when it literally wasn't like that at all. Halfway at number 5, Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson revealed on a radio show that she was presented an opportunity to present an award with Kendall and Kylie Jenner, but Wilson ended up turning it down, with her saying in the interview, "I got asked to present with Kendall and Kylie at the recent VMAs and said no. It's not that you hate any of them individually, but it's just that everything they stand for is against everything I stand for, and they're not famous for talent. I've worked really hard to get where I've gotten to." And even though a lot of people who dislike the Kardashians share the same sentiments, Oprah Winfrey actually came to their defense against Wilson, if you can believe it, with Oprah saying that she couldn't believe how hard the family works, referencing when she filmed the family for Oprah's show, with crews taping the family for 7 hours straight, and then they filmed more of their reality show after. So, as we all know, the Kardashian family really works very hard, even though it doesn't seem like they do too much. And at number 4, Bette Midler. After Kim uploaded her incredibly famous nude selfie where she covered her, nether regions with just like black bars, The internet went ablaze talking about it. One of the people that didn't hold their tongue was Bette Midler, who tweeted out, "Kim Kardashian tweeted a nude selfie today. If Kim wants us to see a part of her we've never seen, she's gonna have to swallow the camera." Which, come on, you have to admit, it's pretty hilarious. Like, even if you like the Kardashians, like, it's a good tweet. As a clapback, Kim tweeted out that it was past Bette's bedtime and that she was a fake friend. And Bette responded back, "Looks like anyone can take a selfie, but not everyone can take a joke." And then she lightened the tension by posting her own nude. When talking about the feud later, Bette had no hard feelings and said she takes Twitter pretty lightly and hoping that Kim did the same. Hopefully Kim wasn't actually too peeved about that. I mean, come on, it was clearly a joke. I don't know. And at number 3, Wendy Williams. If you watch Wendy's show, which I definitely do on occasion, she spills the tea like nobody else, then you know she does not like the Kardashians and is always very blunt when talking about them. But Wendy got the spot of a Kardashian hater when she made some shady comments about Kim after her robbery incident. And when talking about the incident in Paris, Wendy said, "I would hope that she's not making any part of this up for dramatic effect. Because this family, you know, they're kind of soulless. You can't believe everything that you hear." But this was very, very upsetting. And although I do not agree with Wendy at all that the Paris incident was a publicity stunt, a lot of people did feel that the incident could have been exaggerated by the family for views, with people citing numerous times in the past that this has happened with the family. And again, I do not agree, but I mean, she just brought it up as kind of a possibility, and obviously, she loves to shade them whenever she can. And at number 2, Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna is another Kardashian ex who was ousted from the family after her and Rob's relationship ended. And you know that whatever went down was bad, because the family is still nice to Tristan and not Chyna, even though Tristan is arguably way worse and embarrassed them so much more. The first of the feud was surrounding the fact that Kylie started dating Teigen, who was Chyna's ex. Then Chyna started dating Rob. And then the two got engaged and then pregnant very quickly. But after they had Dream, the whole thing fell apart and Chyna and the Kardashians were facing off on social media. Chyna even filed a lawsuit against the family, claiming that they stopped her show Rob and Chyna from getting a second season. A judge dismissed that case, but Chyna still shades the Kardashians whenever she can. And at number 1, Anna Wintour. This last one is something that I had no idea existed, but it's probably the shadiest one of all. So Vogue is one of the most prestigious magazines to be on the cover of, and Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were put on the cover in a very controversial move by the magazine's editor, Anna Wintour. When talking about the criticism, she noted that it would be a misstep to ignore the couple's influence, and she made the choice to lead and deal with the backlash rather than follow. And all of that praise to the couple is, you know, all well and good, until she gives them quite a backhanded compliment, saying, "I think if we just remain deeply tasteful and just put deeply tasteful people on the cover, it would be a rather boring magazine. Nobody would talk about us." And although I totally get what she's like trying to say, calling the couple, you know, deeply untasteful is definitely more than a little shady. But I mean, if anyone can shade anyone, it's Anna Wintour. She can shade whoever she wants.
At number 10, Taylor Swift. Back in 2016, Kanye released a song called Famous that featured a lyric involving Taylor Swift that turned out to be quite controversial. Kanye's lyric essentially claimed that he and Taylor would have an intimate relationship because he made her famous. The fame in reference being to the VMA scandal. Remember that? Long time ago. Still in our memories. When the song was first released, Kanye said that he called Taylor before dropping the song to make sure that the lyric was okay and said it got her approval, but later Taylor's publicist came out to say that she was never made aware of the lyric saying that he made her famous. After Kanye was called out for lying, Kim K came out saying that she recorded the whole conversation and it showed that Taylor was actually made aware of the song, and so Taylor was called out for lying instead. Finally, a new chapter has come out which reveals that Kanye never disclosed the entire lyric to Taylor, and so that's why she called him out. This back and forth between Taylor and Kanye basically ended up with Taylor exposing the rapper for lying and warning us about the lengths that he and his wife will go to save their asses, even if they're wrong. At number 9, Chris Evans. I'm sure we're all familiar with Kanye's support for Donald Trump, at least before he decided to run for president himself. Kanye was seen sporting a MAGA hat in 2018 in a post on Twitter, followed by a tweet where he said, quote, "This represents good and America becoming whole again. We will no longer outsource to other countries. We build factories here in America and create jobs. We will provide jobs for all who are free from prisons as we abolish the 13th Amendment. Message sent with love," end quote. quote. Well, after Chris Evans saw this and had to speak up. Denouncing Kanye's political beliefs and ideals, Chris tweeted a reply to the rapper's tweet where he said, quote, "There's nothing more maddening than debating someone who doesn't know history, doesn't read books, and frames their myopia as a virtue. The level of unapologetic conjecture I've encountered lately isn't just frustrating, it's retrogressive, unprecedented, and absolutely terrifying." Chris essentially warned us about Kanye's political beliefs as he called them absolutely terrifying, which they were, seeing as Kanye said that he wanted to abolish the amendment, which abolished slavery. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, please consider giving it a thumbs up. We love seeing your positive feedback and it really helps out the channel. At number 8, John Legend. After another Twitter rampage about how much he supported Donald Trump, Kanye was getting some backlash from celebrities like Ice-T and Stephen Colbert, as well as John Legend. In a series of tweets from the singer, John spoke about how there are too many people in the world to ignore the presence of racism in society, seemingly pointing the finger at Kanye and his support of Trump's MAGA campaign. John went on to say, quote, "I love that great, brilliant artists have the power to imagine a better future, but artists can't be blind to the truth," and ending his Twitter speech by saying, quote, "The defining trait of Trump's campaign and political profile was his embrace of white supremacy. He made it clear every time he spoke, some serious cognitive dissonance to ignore that for the others who you might find appealing," end quote. John seemingly condemned Kanye's support of Trump and how he was essentially fighting against the lives of so many Black Americans, and warned his fans about how dangerous this mindset can be. At number 7, Kim Kardashian. This summer, as Kanye West went on a Twitter rant about his wife Kim, mother-in-law Kris, and even his kids, all eyes were on him and his family because of some of the things he was saying. It was believed that Kanye was suffering from some sort of manic episode as a result of his bipolar disorder. Kim Kardashian released a statement to address his recent online behavior where she said, quote, "He is a brilliant but complicated person who, on top of the pressures of being an artist and a Black man who experienced the painful loss of his mother, has to deal with the pressure and isolation that is heightened by his bipolar disorder. Those who are close with Kanye know his heart and understand his words sometimes do not align with his intentions," end quote. Her statement about her husband's mental health was sort of a heads up to fans as well as the media that Kanye was experiencing a lot at this time and that his actions are sometimes taken out of hand because of his mental illness. It wasn't necessarily a warning, but more so some important information about the rapper as to not judge him too harshly. Kim's statement told us that he has this trouble sometimes and that we should be patient with him at times like these. At number 6, Kris Jenner. Back in 2016, after a bout of controversial tweeting and public scandals, Kris Jenner warned her kids to stay away from Kanye. 2016 was a tumultuous year for the rapper as he got into a number of Twitter beefs and was even hospitalized for a psychiatric emergency. Well, in an effort to distance her family from Kanye's drama, she advised her youngest daughters, Kendall and Kylie, to stay away from him and to not trust him. An insider told sources that, quote, "Kris has advised her daughters to not discuss any upcoming business opportunities or deals with Kanye, saying the less he knows the better." Kris was afraid that Kanye would try and make Kendall and Kylie doubt their business deals, make them feel guilty about their decisions, and give them bad advice. One of the reasons why Kris was so adamant about keeping her daughter's business away from Kanye is because earlier that year the rapper went on a Twitter rant about Kylie and her potential business deal with the brand Puma, where he said, quote, "1000% there will never be a Kylie Puma anything. That's on my family. 1000% Kylie is on Yeezy team." Kylie's partnership with the brand was almost ruined because of this, and so Mama Kris made sure that would never happen again. At number 5, Lorde. In 2018, singer Lorde accused Kanye West of stealing her stage design. This was in response to a stage design that Kanye and Kid Cudi used for a performance at a music festival that summer that was pretty much identical to what Lorde used at her 2017 Coachella performance. The performers used an identical transparent box suspended over the stage as a focal point for their concerts, and Lorde was not having it. Lorde spoke out about Kanye's creative theft, saying, quote, "I'm proud of the work I do, and it's flattering when other artists feel inspired by it to the extent that they choose to try it on themselves, but don't steal, not from women or anyone else, not in 2018 or ever," end quote. She warned him against stealing, but also seemingly warned other artists about his stealing since this wasn't a new thing for Kanye. In the past, he's also been accused of similar plagiarism from 9 Inch Nails, and Taylor Swift has also commented on his stage design in her song Look What You Made Me Do. At number 4, Obama. Shortly after Kanye announced in 2015 that he would be running for president in 2020, then President Barack Obama had some thoughts on the matter. While speaking at a fundraising event, Obama poked fun at Kanye's presidential dreams where he gave him some advice, like telling him he needs to, quote, "be cool with dealing with strange characters who behave like they're on a reality TV show," an obvious reference to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He also poked fun at Kanye's outspoken nature in reference to his Twitter rampages, as well as his background of being a quote, black guy from the south side of Chicago with a funny name. Though it was all supposed to be jokes, there was also a message behind Obama's bit which sort of warned the American people against voting for someone like Kanye because he can't be taken seriously, especially in the world of politics. We saw this over this past summer at his campaign rally where things got out of hand, so maybe Obama was right. At number 3, Amber Rose. In October 2020, Kanye's ex Amber Rose came out in an interview accusing the rapper of bullying her for the past 10 years. She spoke out about her experience dating Kanye for 2 years, calling him a narcissist, and talking about how he's been speaking badly about her publicly for the past decade. She warned others about getting too close to the rapper, saying that unlike her, he has no compassion and attacks people. Going on to reference how he said he needed 30 showers after being with her, she called him out on that, inferring that this was not his mindset back when they were together, and saying that he, quote, says things to make his wife more comfortable. The interview sort of pulls back the curtains on their relationship and shows how Amber has been dealing with it since they broke up in 2010. The fact that even though they've been apart for 10 years, she still gets bullied by him shows that Kanye has a mean side, and by coming forward about this, she's warning other people about getting too cozy with Kanye. Knowing this, it will be interesting to see what Kim might say after they get divorced. At number 2, Drake. In 2018, Drake called Kanye out for backstabbing and betraying his trust, and he warned others about Kanye's schemes to use others for his own gain. In an interview, Drake spoke out about his beef with Kanye and how Kanye leaked some of his personal information, as well as being used by Kanye to make his album. Drake said that Kanye invited him to Wyoming, where he convinced Drake to tell him some stuff about one of his upcoming albums. They bonded, and Kanye gave Drake the song Lift Yourself, which he later released himself. Drake also told Kanye about his then secret son, Adonis. When rapper Pusha T released a song accusing Drake of not writing his own songs, he felt hurt and blamed Kanye for this leak, and when he pushed back, another song was released telling the story about Drake's son. This information was given to Kanye in secret, so he knew that he'd been betrayed. Now he and other artists know better than to trust Kanye. And at number 1, Kanye. This one might be a bit of a stretch, but just go with me on this one. I believe Kanye has been warning us about himself. Over the years, he's written songs that essentially paint him as someone with a god complex and a natural-born leader. Years ago, we would have thought that this meant that he thinks he's better than everyone else and that his music is superior. He and some fans see him as a pioneering force in the rap world, so maybe this thought came about because of the imagery that he created with his music, painting himself as such a lively force. But now, I think he's been warning us of something much bigger. Kanye knew that he was destined for greatness, but we didn't know what his plans were until now. He has his sights set on the White House, and what bigger title is there in America than president, the ultimate leader? Kanye tried running in 2020 and will try again in 2024, so maybe this is what he's been warning us about all this time, of talking himself up. He's called himself the new Moses and says that he will lead his people out of the struggle. He's advocating for musicians owning their rights to their music, so maybe this is just the beginning of Kanye really acting on the leadership role that he's been hyping up for so long. At number 5, Rob Lowe. Bella Thorne has been very transparent on social media, often sharing her thoughts in the moment. Well, in January 2018, Bella took to Twitter to voice her frustrations with traffic, tweeting out, quote, "FU 101 to Santa Barbara, I'm missing my boyfriend's first date on his tour." Well, what she didn't take into account was why traffic was so bad that day. And so actor Rob Lowe decided to fill her in on the situation while also voicing his disdain for her ignorance. At the time that she was trying to get to her boyfriend's concert, there was a series of mudslides in Montecito that caused a lot of damage as well as some casualties. Rob, clearly offended, posted a picture of Bella's tweet with a caption replying to her where he said, quote, "This attitude is why people hate celebrities / Hollywood. Bella, I'm sorry you were inconvenienced. We will try to move out our dead quicker." She later issued an apology saying that she didn't know about the mudslides in the area. In a way, Rob calling out Bella on her actions on social media was sort of showing us and warning us about her online behavior as well as her ignorance. As we would come to later learn, Bella isn't very in tune with others when it comes to their feelings or well-being. We saw this when she was caught in the middle of her OnlyFans scandal that affected a lot of people and scammed many others. This tweet from years ago may have been the beginning of Bella's ignorance being shown to her fans. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up because it really helps to support the channel. At number 4, the Kardashians. Back in 2017, Bella had a run-in with the Kardashians after she was caught getting cozy with Kourtney's ex, Scott Disick. Their show Keeping Up with the Kardashians saw the family voicing their opinions on Bella and Scott's supposed relationship. It was believed that Scott was only hanging around Bella to make Kourtney jealous, as she had begun to move on from their relationship. But this didn't stop the sisters from warning Scott about the former Disney star. Laying into Scott and Bella's fling, Kim says that Scott being seen with Bella is a quote, bad look for him, and that this makes him look desperate. In a way, this was not only a warning to Scott, but also a warning to others that Bella isn't really someone you want to be around. If there's anything we've learned from Bella's past relationships with people from Tana Mongeau to Modson to Charlie Puth and Tyler Posey, whenever you get too close to Bella, things often go sideways. With Modson, their messy breakup resulted in allegations of theft, and Bella's relationship with Charlie Puth was short-lived because there was rumors that she had been cheating on Tyler Posey with him. And we can't forget about this whole ordeal with her ex-girlfriend Tana and the hostility there. Bella seems to cause drama wherever she goes, and the Kardashians were already aware of that since it was making waves in their family as well. They warned us about this kind of drama long ago, and it still seems to hold up. At number 3, Mia Khalifa. Over the summer in 2020, Bella Thorne faced mass scrutiny after starting an OnlyFans page and being accused of scamming as well as harming the livelihoods of others on the platform. Those who use the platform as a source of income were already scrutinized for their work, and these creators face harsh judgment, and so it's very important for these creators to uplift and support one another, not only on a promotional level, but also by working to legitimize the space and their work. Mia Khalifa, an adult film star who recently joined the OnlyFans platform, is looking to be an advocate for these kinds of issues and holds people accountable for going against these efforts. Recently, Mia confronted Bella Thorne about her behavior on the platform, calling her out for scamming her audience by reselling old content as well as not following through on her promise to her followers to promote their OnlyFans pages. When Mia tried advising Bella to be a better advocate for the platform, Bella responded with a sort of generic apology and offered a free month to her page, clearly not taking Mia's advice seriously. By confronting Bella, then tweeting a screenshot of her response showing that she's not really taking her scrutiny seriously, Mia is sort of warning us about Bella's actions and the fact that she doesn't really care about her fans as much as she pretends to. Bella may keep lying and scamming to her fans, but Mia is out here warning us about Bella's actions and warning us of what may happen if we subscribe to her. At number 2, Sean Baker. On the topic of this OnlyFans business, when Bella first came out saying that she was starting her page on the platform, she said that this venture was mostly for research for a future movie. After breaking platform records, being the first person to make $1 million in their first 24 hours on the site, Bella was interviewed about this new chapter of her life, posting on OnlyFans. She told sources that she was doing this as research for a film that she was making with director Sean Baker, saying that she wanted to learn about life on the platform, finding answers to questions like, quote, what are the ins and outs? What does a platform like this do to its users? What is the connective material between your life and your life inside the world of OnlyFans? How can it change your life for the worse and for the better? How far are you willing to go, and how far do you want to go? At first, finding out that this was all research and that she didn't really need to be on the platform for her own income, this angered some people since her venture affected so many creators. But after receiving so much backlash, the director whom Bella said that she was creating this film with actually came forward to clear the air and tell everyone that there were never any plans to make a film with Bella, and that he actually tried to warn her about joining OnlyFans. In a statement the director released, he said to the public, quote, I would like to make it clear that the news of me making a documentary film or fiction narrative about OnlyFans and using Bella Thorne as research is false. I am not attached to this project. I'm actually in development of 2 features that I've put years of research and love into, and neither of these films have anything to do with Miss Thorne or OnlyFans. He also went on to state that he told Bella that joining the platform was a bad idea and that she needed to think about the impact that she would have on other creators. Obviously, Bella didn't listen to that advice and ultimately landed in some hot water. Sean's statement in a way warned us about Bella's actions and her lying. She told the world in an interview for Paper Magazine that this was all research, but the reality is that it was all lies. Now that we know that she lied about the research, the question remains, why did she decide to join OnlyFans in the first place then? At number 1, Tana Mongeau. Tana Mongeau and Bella Thorne were in a relationship from 2017 to about 2019, and though they said on Twitter that their split was amicable and that they still love each other, that clearly is no longer the case. Bella first got upset after Tana announced that she was engaged to YouTuber Jake Paul, but just recently their beef has gone through the roof and there's a lot of hostility. Bella recently released a song and music video called SFB, you can look up what that means, which allegedly is based on her relationship with Tana, and it's pretty shady. Not only is she calling Tana out in her songs, but their feuding is also leaching into Twitter and TikTok, where they're subtweeting or replying to each other or making TikToks about each other. Now, honestly, they're both as bad as each other. I mean, they're both being pretty toxic in the way that they're handling things, but if you take a step back from all of their back and forth drama, you can see a bit of a pattern coming from Bella that Tana has brought out and has seemingly warned us about, this being her toxicity. Even though they're having their drama online, Bella is really the one who started all of this. Bella and Tana hadn't really interacted much since 2019, and then all of a sudden, she releases this diss track about Tana without provocation. She's attacking Tana for no good reason other than to get people talking, and Tana warned us about this. On December 23rd, just a few days after the release of SFB, Tana tweeted a picture of missed FaceTime calls from Bella that shows that she's still been trying to get in contact with Tana. This beef that Bella is starting online seems to be all for show, because if she really hated Tana as much as she claims to online, then she probably wouldn't be trying to call her, right? Tana called her out on this and sort of warned fans about the lengths that Bella would go to in order to stay relevant in the media, including destroying a relationship.
One of Ariana's biggest feuds has been with her former co-star Victoria Justice. There was always a lot of confusion surrounding their feud because fans never really understood what was really going on. And to be honest, I still don't totally get it. There has been an alleged feud going on for years, going all the way back to 2010, when reports started saying the two of them didn't like each other, despite working together on the Nickelodeon show Victorious. Throughout the past 10 years, the two of them have denied feud rumors on different occasions, but then other things would happen and it would make people believe differently. There's an infamous video clip that went viral showing an interview with Ariana, Victoria, and two of their other co-stars. In the video, one of their co-stars, Elizabeth, is going on about how Ariana sings, and Victoria interrupts the interview and says, "I think we all sing." The video came across in this very jealous way because Victoria also sang on the show, but obviously Ariana's singing career took off and hers didn't. Time and time again though, media outlets reported tension between the two girls, but they have continued to deny it. Victoria did admit during an interview in 2013 that the two of them have had their differences, but said that she still sees the entire cast as one big family. So maybe they did have their differences and had moments of tension, but it seems like they've worked it out at this age, as they probably should. One celebrity who has been very open about her dislike towards Ariana is Giuliana Rancic. The E! News host and red carpet correspondent has interviewed countless amounts of celebrities throughout her career. And with that, she's also had feuds with some of them, Ariana being one of them. Which is a little surprising to me because Ariana isn't one to get into like petty fights and cause drama. But it seemed like this one was very much one-sided. Back in 2014, Giuliana talked about her on E! And said, I quote, "She does have a little bit of a diva thing going on." But what was it that caused her to feel this way about Ariana? She told the story of the time they did an interview and said that they both wanted to showcase their good side to the camera, but they made Giuliana move and then Ariana got to show her good side. She told the story and said, I quote, "Little Ariana comes over and they push me to the other side. I had to fight 13 years to get this side of the camera. It's my good side." Apparently, she took this as if Ariana didn't get her good side, then she wouldn't do the interview. That's when she called Ariana a Mariah Carey and said she has to bend over backwards and do whatever she wants in order to get an interview with her. The E! host said that Ariana needed to earn her stripes and wasn't far enough in her career to have this kind of attitude. Now, I can understand two ladies wanting to have their good side facing the camera, like don't we all, but I also don't see how this was diva behavior. If anything, this just seems very diva of Giuliana, but let me know what you guys think. I think it's just petty and ridiculous, really. They're both beautiful, like I'm pretty sure both of your sides are good sides. Next up, we have Perez Hilton. Their feud goes way back in time, and at one point things were so bad, reports were saying lawyers could be getting involved. Back in 2014, he tweeted at Ariana saying he heard that she was spotted using cocaine. He expressed concern and then tweeted the same thing at Nickelodeon and Ariana's family, including her mother. Obviously, this was not genuine concern because if you were genuinely concerned for someone's well-being, you wouldn't be tweeting about it publicly. You would probably be messaging them, like privately, maybe. That's when rumors started going around that Ariana was going to sue Perez. So what does Perez do? He tweets out his lawyer's info to Ariana and her mom. Sadly, this was just one moment of tension between the two of them. There are actually quite a few. Later down the road, in more recent times, he called her out for allegedly being a diva. He released an article on his gossip blog website entitled it, "Ariana Grande is so demanding and shallow." It has since been removed, and maybe that's because her fans were quick to defend her. Don't mess with her fans, they're crazy. It seemed like he tried to warn the world that she was some kind of diva who has shallow values, but it was a very unsuccessful attempt. He recently opened up about why he's been so angry towards her all these years, and he revealed that he tried to become her manager when she was just 18 years old, but she rejected him. He explained and said, "I was really hurt, so for years afterwards, I was super petty toward Ariana on my website and on social media. I regret that." It seems like he has come to his senses now and realized that his warnings just aren't being taken seriously. And yeah, he's probably biting himself now because he would be making bank off her. We're moving on to another celebrity, and we have Mayim Bialik. Probably the most random feud you will ever hear about. The Big Bang Theory actress expressed that she had a problem with Ariana back in 2014. She wrote a blog post entitled it, "The Problem with That Giant Billboard of Ariana Grande." In the lengthy blog, which is far too long for me to read on this video, she went into detail about her distaste of Ariana's sexual nature in her album advertisements. She was particularly commenting on a billboard where Ariana is wearing lingerie. She wrote, "Why is she in her underwear on this billboard though? And if she has a talent, then why does she have to sell herself in lingerie?" The reason she had such an issue with it is because she feels that it is damaging for the young girls who look up to Ariana. Ariana has made it clear in interviews though that she should not and will not feel guilty for embracing her sexuality and feeling confident in her own skin. I understand where Mayim's concern is, but maybe don't single out Ariana Grande when this is something that goes on in Hollywood and media like as a whole. That's literally Hollywood. Coming up next is another Nickelodeon co-star, Jennette McCurdy. The two girls actually had their own show together called Sam and Cat, and during that time they seemed inseparable. But over time things seemed to go sour and Jennette took some hits at Ariana. In 2014, Ariana won Favorite TV Actress over Jennette, and TMZ reported that Jennette skipped the award show because she was trying to renegotiate her deal since apparently she made less money than Ariana did. But Ariana was quick to clear up those rumors and took it to Facebook saying, "I am not making more money than my co-star, nor do I think I should be. I am, have always been, and always will be about equality and fairness." Just a few months later though, the show was canceled and they both went on to follow their own career paths. But Jennette's next project seemed to take a shot at Ariana. It was a web series called What's Next for Sarah. In the third episode, it featured a character named Gloriana, a girl with a high ponytail just like Ariana's. Perez Hilton and Jennette joked about the episode on Twitter, and Perez wrote, "Can I be in an upcoming episode? I can be Gloriana's obnoxious gay brother." This would obviously annoy or upset Ariana because of the way that Perez has treated her, which I mentioned above. Reports say the two of them have not spoken in years, and in 2016, Jennette posted a video of her jamming out to one of Ariana's songs, so maybe they have buried the hatchet after all these years. We're not totally sure. Making his way onto this list is Kanye West. It's not really a surprise that she has ended up in one of his Twitter rants. Almost every celebrity has at one point in time. Back in 2018, he called her out on Twitter for using his Twitter feud with Drake as a way to promote her new song with Miley Cyrus. What happened was, Ariana tweeted, "Guys, I know there are grown men arguing online right now, but Miley and I are dropping our beautiful new song tonight, so if y'all could just please behave for just like a few hours so the girls can shine, that would be so sick, thank you." She was referring to Kanye and Drake, who were in a heated spat on Twitter. Kanye took her tweet more personally than it was probably intended to be, and he was very hurt by it. He admitted he was mentally struggling and said it wasn't right for her to make a joke about the situation. He said, "Ariana, you know I got love for you, but until you're ready to really make sure everyone's okay, don't use me or this moment to promote a song." I understand where he's coming from, and some people were in agreement with him, while others just thought he was making it way more serious than it was. Ariana's response though was everyone's favorite part. She did apologize if her tweet triggered him and said that she understands how it was insensitive, but she started her apology by saying, "With all due respect, I don't need to use anyone to promote anything, period." Lastly, we have one of her ex-fiancés, Pete Davidson. The two of them got together in 2018 and their relationship moved very quickly, getting engaged and moving in with each other after only months of dating. From the outside looking in, they seemed to be head over heels for one another. They were freaking adorable. But they were only engaged for a few months before Ariana broke it off and they went their separate ways. After their split, Pete went and got a cover-up over the tattoo that he had done for her while they were obviously together, and he called her out in his Netflix comedy special. He wasn't thrilled about her song Thank You Next, where she wrote lyrics about all of her ex-boyfriends, including him. During his Netflix stand-up special, he called her out and said, "Can you imagine if I did that? My career would be over tomorrow. If I spray painted myself brown and hopped on the cover of Vogue magazine and just started on my ex." He also didn't think it was fair that she was named Billboard's Women of the Year after her hit song about him and all her exes, but he was publicly ridiculed after their breakup. However, since then, the two of them have come to good terms and now both speak kindly about one another. Pete later revealed that the reason they actually ended was because Ariana was hurting after her ex-boyfriend Mac Miller tragically passed away from an overdose. He admitted that she was going through a very difficult time and said that he now respects the decision that she made.
And at number 10, Lindsay Lohan. While Jennifer Lawrence was on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert to promote a movie in 2015, Lawrence offended Lindsay Lohan and her family. It started when Lawrence was talking about how she got a stomach virus while filming, but she still kept shooting. Then she made the comment, quote, "I get like Lindsay Lohan grade exhaustion, but without any drugs or alcohol." And obviously, even though we assumed she was joking, those kind of words will start a fight. Almost right after the show aired, Lohan's younger sister, Elena, tweeted out, quote, "I never breathe life into negativity, but I stand by my family. Disappointed in Jennifer Lawrence. Not cool." Lindsay Lohan then replied to that tweet saying, quote, "Thank you, sister. Maybe who you're referring to should learn to support others like Maya Angelou." Lohan's mom also commented on the incident weeks later, so it's safe to say the family does not have a good opinion of Jennifer Lawrence. And at number 9, Jared Leto. Jared Leto thinks that Jennifer Lawrence's niceness is all an act. The rift between them started at the 2014 Oscars, when Jennifer was walking up to the stage after she won an award. Leto and some other people started laughing. Then Lawrence started asking, what is it? What's funny? Apparently what was happening is that the host of the show, Ellen DeGeneres, was miming Don't Fall, because this was the year after Jennifer's famous fall, and Leto and his family were laughing. Then Leto was asked about her earlier, more famous fall, and he said, quote, "I'm starting to wonder if this is a bit of an act." He said it in a joking manner, but we know there's always a hint of truth in jokes like that. And at number 8, Chloe Sevigny. Chloe Sevigny has been open about her dislike of Jennifer Lawrence. When Sevigny was being interviewed by V Magazine in 2015, she was asked if she has any fears of being typecast. She replies that she does, and ranted about how the industry is all about marketing over talent, saying, quote, "So much is about marketing and selling the product. They'll have a really peppy, funny girl on the talk show rounds, and everybody adores her and loves her and wants to be her or sleep with her. And then so many more people want to watch the movie or TV show." And even though she seems to hint at Lawrence, she didn't name her specifically. However, later when she was asked about women that she admired, Sevigny said Angelina Jolie and Emma Stone, but she said she could do without Jennifer Lawrence, adding, quote, "Jennifer Lawrence I find annoying, too crass." And at number 7, Kim Kardashian. After Jennifer Lawrence interviewed Kim on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, I thought they were the best of friends, with them talking about how Jennifer came over for dinner and got her mother Chris absolutely wasted. But it seems that Chris has been giving Jennifer a little too much attention, and Kim has started to get jealous. A source told Radar Online in December 2017 that Kim had enough of Jennifer. Kim reportedly went into a, quote, "jealous rage" over the close relationship her mom had developed with Lawrence, because, quote, "Kim was always Chris's favorite until Jennifer crashed the scene." The source added, quote, "Jennifer's definitely on the VIP invite list for her annual holiday party, so Kim's dreading Jennifer stealing the show. The sunshine walks with Jennifer in Chris's eyes. Kim is fed up and doesn't know what to do." And honestly, I'm not sure how much I believe this source, because I don't think that Chris and Jennifer spend enough time together for anyone in the family to actually get jealous, but it's definitely an interesting rumor. And at number 6, Lala Kent. Jennifer Lawrence stirred up a ton of drama with reality star Lala Kent during her appearance on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. It started when Andy was asking Jennifer what she thought of the cast of Vanderpump Rules. When the conversation went to Lala, Lawrence straight up called her the C word, the see you next Tuesday word, along with tons of other digs at her. As a response, Lala later tweeted out, quote, "Did Jennifer Lawrence really call me the C word on Watch What Happens Live and talk about my mama?" "Bitch, you better pray I don't see you in the streets." And that was just the first of a long string of now deleted tweets. The shade did not stop there. Lala went on the Juicy Scoop podcast via 2Fab and called out Jennifer further. She said that Jennifer had, quote, 2 failed films in a row, and said she was the type of girl that would sleep with Harvey Weinstein for a role. Lawrence never responded to any of the shade, but Lala still brings it up anytime she's asked about Jennifer Lawrence. Halfway at number 5, Anderson Cooper. So I'm pretty sure we all know about Jennifer's legendary fall at the 2013 Oscars while she was accepting the prestigious award for Best Actress. And after the shocking fall, many weren't sure if it was real or just faked for attention. One of those people was CNN host Anderson Cooper. On a podcast, Lawrence spoke of how she saw Cooper talking about it a few days later, and she was hurt by his remarks that the fall could have been fake. Quote, "It was so devastating because this was a horrific humiliation to me that took away, I don't know if I'll be able to have the chance to make a speech like that again. That didn't feel good for me not to have a speech." Apparently, Lawrence later confronted the host at a Christmas party, with a source saying that she was really fired up while confronting Anderson Cooper. But apparently they're all good, and Anderson sincerely apologized for his statement. And at number 4, Juan Pablo Fernandez-Feo. Jennifer Lawrence got massive backlash after she was rude to a reporter at the 2016 Golden Globes. After she accepted an award, she was in the press room answering questions. Then a Spanish reporter who was speaking with an accent started asking a question, but he was looking at his phone basically the whole time. Jennifer tried to joke around by telling the reporter to put his phone down if he wanted to ask her questions. She also mocked him after he mistook the event for the Oscars. After the event, hate flooded to Jennifer, and people figured the reporter was most likely translating from Spanish to English in order to ask her questions. It was wrong for Jennifer to assume that everyone there spoke English. Anne Hathaway ended up defending her and saying the reporter was actually recording Jennifer, so she had to write to call him out for it. But I mean, it definitely didn't make Jennifer Lawrence look good. And at number 3, Joan Rivers. The drama between these two happened in 2013, when Lawrence was being interviewed by Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer. In one part of the interview, a fan asked Jennifer a question about body positivity. She answered by saying that she doesn't listen to criticism about her weight, then threw some shade, saying, quote, "Shows like Fashion Police and things like that are just showing these generations of young people to judge people based off things that they put values in all the things that are wrong. That it's okay to point at people and call them ugly or fat." As a response to Jennifer's shade, Joan Rivers tweeted out, quote, "It's funny how Jennifer Lawrence loved the show during awards season when we were complimenting her every single week," with Joan adding that she tripped over her own arrogance at the Oscars. And at number 2, Jennifer Lawrence herself. Many people didn't like the side of Jennifer Lawrence that they saw after she clapped back at fans who were trying to defend her. Controversy in question was because she wore a stunning Versace gown on a London rooftop, while her male co-stars wore coats and pants because of the chilly weather. Many found it sexist that Jennifer was wearing an exposed dress in the cold while the men were dressed for the weather. And even though Jennifer is usually very quiet on social media, she wrote a long statement against those who started the controversy. She said in part, quote, "The controversy is not only utterly ridiculous, I'm extremely offended. That Versace dress was fabulous. You think I'm gonna cover that gorgeous dress up with a coat and scarf? I was outside for 5 minutes. I would have stood in the snow for that dress because I love fashion, and that was my choice." She then continued to rant about how this activism is not feminism and people need to get a grip. And although she's allowed to share her opinions, many felt she was too hard on people who were just trying to support her. And finally, number 1, Jennifer Lopez. This last one comes from another very famous Jennifer, Jennifer Lopez. The feud started when Lawrence was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and Lawrence shared a story from the Met Ball. Apparently, Jennifer Lawrence and Jimmy were very drunk and wanted to ask J-Lo to dance. Apparently, they went over to her and she turned them down, with Lopez saying that she just wanted to observe. And even though the story was lighthearted, it still made J-Lo look kinda bad for saying no. So J-Lo decided to set the record straight, and she actually came out with her version of events. She told Access Hollywood, quote, "I remember that we were at the Met Ball and Kanye was about to perform, and it was like a crazy moment. And then they came over. And then she was like, let's go dance. And I was like, no, I'm good right here. But I didn't mean it like I don't want to dance with you. I just meant it like it's so crowded in here, let's stay right here." With her saying she would have loved to dance with Jennifer Lawrence. And I think this one can probably just be chalked up to miscommunication, honestly. And at number 5, Michael Bay. Michael Bay is the person who started Meghan's career, but he also was responsible for briefly ending it too. Fox became well known for her role as Michaela Baines in the 2007 film Transformers and the 2009 film Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, both directed by Michael Bay. However, in 2009, she started a feud with Bay that got her fired from the massive franchise. During a 2009 interview with Wonderland magazine, she called him out for his behavior on set, saying, quote, "He's like Napoleon, and he wants to create this insane, infamous madman reputation. He wants to be like a dictator on his sets, and he is." So so he's a nightmare to work for, but when you get him away from set and he's not in director mode, I kind of really enjoy his personality because he's so awkward, so hopelessly awkward. He has no social skills at all, and it's endearing to watch him. He's vulnerable and fragile in real life, and then on set, he's a tyrant. And we know that he treated her badly while on set, but obviously this was not the right way to handle things and got her blacklisted from the business. And this obviously got her fired from the third film. Bey ended up addressing the situation with somewhat of an apology, responding to the claims saying, quote, "I know it's just Megan. Megan loves to get a response, and she does it in kind of the wrong way. I'm sorry, Megan. I'm sorry I made you work 12 hours. I'm sorry that I'm making you show up on time. Movies are not always warm and fuzzy." So here he's kind of calling her a spoiled brat of sorts. And at number 4, Transformers crew members. While Megan Fox was in a heated feud with director Michael Bay, 3 anonymous Transformers crew members wrote an open letter bashing Megan Fox. This letter was later published on Michael Bay's website, obviously supportive of the negative comments. In this letter, they call Fox, quote, "dumb as a rock, unprofessional, Miss Sour Pants, a grump, thankless, classless, graceless, and an unfriendly bitch." One portion of the letter called out her negative comments in interviews, as well as making multiple comments about her being an adult film star. If a letter like that were published today, whoever wrote it would be cancelled immediately. Megan denied the claims made in the letter, saying, quote, "I know that working with the Transformers crew was not that way with my crew. I loved my crew." Adding, quote, "It was an anonymous letter. It could be anyone. It could be somebody who worked at Cracker Barrel in Florida. Who knows who it is? It's not true. My crew knows it's not true. And my producers know it's not true," Megan told ABC News. Although the letter was outrageous, it did sway public opinion of Megan to be more negative than it already was at that time. And at number 3, Brian Austin Green. It seems that Brian Austin Green and Megan have not divorced on good terms. Fox and Green dated on and off for 6 years before tying the knot in June of 2010. They split in 2015 but got back together in 2016 and stayed together for a few years later. But ultimately, Megan filed for divorce again in 2020 and is now dating Machine Gun Kelly. But following their split, the drama seemed to mount. One source said about the split, quote, "Megan and Brian have taken a turn for the worse because Megan can be unpredictable and inconsistent, which is a big reason that they separated in the first place," a source told Us Weekly exclusively. Later adding, quote, "She can be very hot and cold, hard to keep track of, and difficult to deal with." But we didn't get more details on the actual issues. Megan also publicly slammed Green after he posted a photo with one of their kids on Halloween, with Megan publicly commenting on the photo, wondering why Green included their son Journey when he easily could have just cropped him out. Part of her comment on the post read, quote, "I had a great Halloween with them yesterday, and yet notice how absent they are from my social media. I know you love your kids, but I don't know why you can't stop using them to posture via Instagram. You're so intoxicated with feeding the pervasive narrative that I'm an absent mother, and you are the perennial, eternally dedicated dad of the year. You have them half the time." After that response, Green decided to take down the original photo and re-upload it cropped without their son in it. But many believe Megan overreacted to the situation. And at number 2, Tori Spelling. Tori Spelling seemed to defend her good friend, Brian Austin Green, against claims made by Megan that he was manipulative. Only days after Fox left the comment on Green's post, Tori posted a selfie to her Instagram with Green and Jenny Garth in it. The photo was from the set of Beverly Hills 90210 that is now being revived. In the long caption, Tori wrote in part, quote, "Grateful to be filming and creating new characters and stories, but there's nothing like home. When I think of my home, it's my OG zip code, my 90210 family. My heart lies with all of my brothers and sisters, but specifically Jenny Garth and Brian Austin Green." Adding later, quote, "Brian would pull my pigtails on set, until this day can still push my buttons in the best of ways, because he knows me so well. We were just kids. But standing by these two for decades, I've watched them both grow into such amazing humans. We are all parents now, and Jen and Bri are the best parents I know. Honored to consider them my friends and brother and sister on this journey in life. I love you both. I always have, I always will." I don't think this post was intended to be against Megan, but by supporting Green, many felt that it was. And finally, number 1, Summer Rae. Summer Rae dated Machine Gun Kelly before Megan Fox, and she exposed that she believed that he cheated on her with Megan. Rae opened up on Impulsive, where she said that they dated for a few months, and that Coulson got with Megan before they had broken up. Summer said that she didn't sleep with Coulson during their relationship because he didn't pass her test. but quote, I don't really feel bad saying that because he kind of cheated on me with Megan Fox, she said. Summer said she was invited to Puerto Rico, where Coulson was filming Midnight in the Switchgrass with Fox, saying, quote, I waited in the hotel the whole time while he's filming with her and I'm not really thinking anything of it. I thought she was older and had kids and was married and stuff. Apparently, Coulson also didn't allow her to go to the set of the Bloody Valentine music video, which starred Fox, because of COVID restrictions. But she says that she doesn't hold a grudge and thinks that they actually make a cute couple. So thankfully she doesn't have any hard feelings, but I'm sure that wasn't fun to learn that she was being cheated on. However, she didn't confirm if Megan knew that Coulson was in a relationship at the time or not. In at number 10, Avril Lavigne. Chrissy decided to pick a feud with beloved punk singer Avril Lavigne for absolutely no reason. She tweeted in 2011, quote, if you told me I could have one kid, but it would be exactly like Avril, I would choose to have a barren, sterile existence that ends when I die. Shortly after, she tweeted again, quote, watching an Avril Lavigne interview, the second most painful thing I've watched today after the goods. These tweets not only prompted anger from Avril's fans, but also a lot of confusion. Like, what was the reason to just go after her like that? Chrissy never gave a reason, but did issue an apology after a lot of backlash. Writing on Twitter, quote, I would formally like to apologize, but only one of those sorry you're offended apologies because I am. I spew out terrible opinions and observations all day and didn't think twice about that one. In at number 9, Mariah Carey. I still can't even believe Chrissy had the guts to call out the queen, Mariah Carey. And the reason for the call out is honestly despicable. In 2010, when it was announced that Mariah Carey was pregnant with her twins, Monroe and Moroccan, Chrissy decided to make fun of her weight. A serious low blow. She tweeted, quote, why is anyone surprised Mariah is having twins? I was always pretty positive there were 2 to 15 babies growing inside of her. And obviously it's never okay to body shame anyone ever, but body shaming a pregnant person is just a whole other level. Like, how could a person even do that? And at number 8, Quanzane Wallace. This is easily the worst one because Chrissy decided to attack a child. And seriously, it's another level of low to come after a kid that can't really defend themselves. Back in 2013, while Chrissy was watching the Oscars, she decided to call out the youngest person at the event, Quanzane Wallace. She tweeted out, quote, is it okay to call a small child adding later, quote, I am forced to like Quanzane Wallace because she's a child, right? Okay, fine. Making it clear who she was talking about in that first tweet. After this attack, she was dragged online for her comments. But she really didn't seem to care and never apologized for the tweets. Wallace has never commented on the situation, probably because she's more classy than Chrissy will ever be. In at number 7, Rihanna. This incident is definitely not the worst, however it is the most illegal. While Chrissy was on the Ellen show, she was talking about how her and her husband lived in Rihanna's old house at that time. And Chrissy admitted to opening Rihanna's mail when it happened to come to the house. She said, quote, the one fun thing that does happen every once in a while is I get a bill of hers. Chrissy even gave an example of a time she opened Rihanna's mail and it was an $18 bill from Bugatti. Ellen pointed out that opening someone's mail is illegal, and Chrissy replied, quote, but it's my house now. Can you not? Are we gonna edit this? This is why I can't run for president. I'm confident after Rihanna heard that, she changed her billing address immediately. In at number 6, Farrah Abraham. The teen mom star was unfortunately at the center of many of Chrissy's hurtful rants over the years. Back in 2013, Chrissy tweeted, quote, Farrah Abraham now thinks she's pregnant from her sex tape. In other news, you're a everyone hates you. Oops, not another news story. This was referring to the tape that Farrah made with adult film star James Dean at the time. And if you're shocked about these comments, they were actually swept under the rug pretty quickly because a lot of celebrities were hating on Farrah at that time. After the comments, some fans started to call out Chrissy for shaming Farrah, which Chrissy denied, adding, quote, how is calling out a willing, lied as leaked adult tape participant who hired Pops to photo her buying preg test this AM shaming. When the backlash against Chrissy did not stop, she finished off her statements on the matter, quote, wow, amazed to see the outrage behind calling a staged, leaked adult tape chick from Teen Mom exactly what she is. Go on with your bad selves. Halfway at number 5, Katie Cassidy. Some people might find Chrissy's feud with actress Katie Cassidy somewhat noble because Chrissy was attempting to defend a friend, but it really just showed how often she gets involved in things that really have nothing to do with her. This feud started when Cassidy tweeted that she didn't like how journalist Erin Andrews was reporting a sports game. Chrissy then got involved to defend her friend Erin. Chrissy savagely tweeted at Katie, quote, "Job, now. The work a person does regularly to make money. Alt, what Erin Andrews has. Second alt, what you don't have. Bye." But Katie clapped back, writing, quote, "Just to be clear, your profile reads gold digger and stuff. You're asking me if I have a job? I'll send you a book." The fight continued to get pretty heated between the women, but it eventually died down. And at number 4, Tamara Mowry. Chrissy decided to call out Tamara Mowry after she did a brand deal that Chrissy thought was funny. In 2015, Mowry announced that she was pregnant on Instagram in collaboration with Clear Blue, where she showed the positive pregnancy test in the post. After that post, Chrissy indirectly commented by tweeting, quote, "How much money does Clear Blue pay celebs to Instagram their pee sticks? This seems lucrative." When fans called her out, Chrissy responded that it wasn't shade towards Tamara. Chrissy never really clarified her stance and it just kind of died down. And at number 3, Dina Lohan. Dina Lohan decided to call out Chrissy Teigen in defense of her daughter Lindsay after Chrissy attacked Lindsay online for years. In 2011, Teigen tweeted, quote, "Lindsay adds a few more cuts to her wrists when she sees Emma Stone." I guess that was referencing that Emma is a better actor, even though literally no one was comparing them. And also, that's just really graphic language to use and really disgusting. But that wasn't all. Later that year, Chrissy had a court date that she was tweeting about, and one tweet said, quote, "I cannot wait to show up in court with John to fight this. At Lindsay Lohan, what should I wear? You're the expert. Help." Clearly making fun of Lindsay's struggles with the law. Lindsay's mother recently decided to comment on all these nasty tweets made by Chrissy. She somewhat took the high road and told Chrissy that she needs to look inside herself and grow, which I think we can all agree with. And at number 2, Jay Moore. This feud was so uncalled for, and it's just more proof that Chrissy is a bully for literally no reason. This was actually one of her first public feuds back in 2011. At the time, Jay just had a son, and Chrissy reacted to the news of the name by tweeting, quote, "Nikki Cox and Jay Moore named their son Meredith. Their son Meredith. Meredith is their son's name. The name of their son is Meredith." Jay did not take these comments lying down and responded, quote, "Why are you even near me? Take your skank somewhere where guys like sixes in bikinis. Matt Leinart wouldn't sleep with you." Chrissy then responded that she was just pointing out the feminine name and it's not a big deal. But the feud continued for hours and ended with Teigen tweeting that she had no comeback. And finally, at number 1, Courtney Stodden. Courtney Stodden recently exposed Chrissy's nasty mean girl behavior that really started Chrissy's recent downfall. According to an interview Stodden did with the Daily Beast, they claim that Chrissy repeatedly told them to take their own life. After the interview, some of Teigen's old tweets resurfaced, and they were just as horrendous as Stodden claimed. BuzzFeed pulled screenshots of the tweets sent in 2011 and 2012, and many of the tweets which actually tagged Stodden are mocking and hurtful. One of the tweets read, quote, "Go to sleep forever." Another read, quote, "What drug makes you do that with your mouth? Asking for a friend who really wants to know how to look like an idiot. Thanks." And to make things even worse, Stodden alleged that Chrissy wouldn't just tweet about them, but also send Stodden private messages. These messages apparently told Stodden to end their own life and told Stodden that Teigen couldn't wait for them to die. The backlash against these tweets got so bad that Chrissy actually decided to apologize, but a lot of people are not buying the excuses.